What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and we just got our next brand new epic sprite in Bloodline Heroes of Lithis. It is BULKO, so of course, I'm gonna do a breakdown. But first, download Gemstone Legends, a mobile RPG puzzle match game. Use the link in the description to start with free stuff, including a bonus hero. Alright, so you might have noticed a strange new event has popped up, and it is called Convoking Scope. And I started doing this event and realized real quickly this is a great way to get epic sprite shards. And in particular for BULKO. And BULKO turns out to be a very powerful new sprite. So let's go examine him a little bit because I think he is going to absolutely change the meta. In fact, he is just a meta-breaking type of sprite. And why is that? Well, it's because of his skill. Hulking Presence. And it says increases the damage dealt by all back row allied champions by 16%, or some percent depending on how highly you have it leveled, of course, and prevents all enemies from casting their ultimate within 10 seconds after the battle starts. The debuff can be dispelled. All right, so as you know, I am somebody who favors speed and aggression in this game. I think the two best things you can be doing in the current meta in Bloodline is making your heroes faster and higher strength and higher damage, as much as you can possibly do that to end the match as quickly as possible. I actually think that those faster, more aggressive damage dealers are pushing some tanks out of the game right now. And then we get this guy. So first of all, this text about extra damage from enemies in the back line is just absolutely incredible. But I couldn't even have fathomed that they would have brought a skill or an effect into the game that prevented ultimates from being cast. And 10 seconds is a long time. I think if you watch a lot of my matches, they're over before 10 seconds is up. So here's what I think. I think this just became a mandatory sprite. At least if you're playing at the higher levels of Bloodline. Even if you're playing at the mid levels or beginner levels, for players who have him, the other team just can't compete. When the game starts, if the opponent, especially in the arena where you're already charged up a bit, or Valley of Conquerors or Guild Conquest, where there's already some charge, if the opponent is charged up a bit but can't use their ultimate and you get to use yours first, that's just game over. It's actually unbelievable that this is an effect that's out there now. And so if you're going to play at the highest levels of the game, it's absolutely mandatory. I'd say right now is a great time to get the shards for this through the event, because just trying to get it through those eggs is going to be really difficult going forward. So now's the time, if you want it, to jump back into that event and get it. But I kind of want to show you how this works too. So we're going to go into the arena. And I'm going to go ahead and choose an opponent to fight so you can see exactly what happens. Here's one of the toughest teams on my server, Oscar. And you may have seen me fight Oscar before. I'm going to go ahead and by the way, I'm going to use the new Bloodcraft champion as well. So there is that. Let's go ahead and slow it down a bit there. Get the sound on for you guys. Do you see the little symbol that's appearing above the other team's heads? Means they cannot cast their ultimates. So they just get wiped out before they can do anything. This is one of the toughest teams on my server that I just faced, and he couldn't do anything. It wasn't even competitive. I know I fight against Fierce Daughter a lot too, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that because she has always been a very even matchup for me as well. Sometimes I win them, sometimes I don't. Let's see what happens here. All right. I cast ultimates immediately. I've never been able to win like that against Fierce Daughter. I have never, ever, ever been able to just slice through an opponent as strong as Fierce Daughter like that. You want to do one more just for kicks? Let's try Scorpios. Here we go. This is a tougher, tankier type of team. Not one that's more aggressive. Fierce Daughter and Oscar have the faster, more aggressive teams. This is a tankier one. And here we go again. They just can't do anything. Now, I don't know on my server who has BULKO yet, but eventually we're going to get BULKO mirror matches. It's just going to be this thing where everything evens out and everybody has them. So what kind of effect is that going to have? Well, what's going to happen is that teams that were really, really good at just building up all the speed effects and aggressive damage dealing effects are playing on an even playing field now, because teams that might not have leveled all that stuff up, if both teams have BULKO, it's just going to be like after 10 seconds, both teams go off and it's kind of a coin flip, and which team's going to win, because like you hope that your team's ultimates go off more. How's this going to change the meta? I do think it might potentially cause us to have to think about what heroes we're using. What's going to be more valuable in the BULKO meta is probably going to be the active skills. Let me show you what I mean by this. First of all, we have new champions right now that are actually, you can go in and get. And I just covered them yesterday. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure to go check that out. But you got this Kivak clan who, they're passive. This is for both the female and the male. The passive and the active skill are actually the main things they do. The ultimate really just sort of facilitates what the passive and the active skill are already doing. So it's heroes like this that are going to become really valuable in the BULKO meta. Because if the ultimates can't be cast, you're going to want to look for very strong active skills. I'll tell you who has a really strong one that's in the meta a lot right now, who probably just became more valuable, is actually Phoenix. I don't know if you've ever really watched what Phoenix does, but she launches these Firebirds out and they deal a lot of damage. So Phoenix becomes extremely valuable here. This new BULKO is probably going to hurt Male Water and Sun a bit, because it is Male Water and Sun's ultimate that is pretty much why he's valuable. So, what we're going to have to do now is go through our rosters and look at who has the best active skills and whose passives are having the biggest impact on the board, especially immediately. You're going to want to do a lot of damage up front through those passives and actives, and then maybe have some controlling effects mixed in there for whenever the ultimates do start to go off, to just try and kind of lock down your opponent. So that, like, for example, if you have a hero that goes off after that 10 seconds that just stun locks everybody for a minute, there you go. Then you have it. So we're going to need a lot of control features in heroes and very good passives and active skills going forward if everybody's going to have BULKO. Now, if you're mid-tier or beginner tier in a server where you can't chase BULKO, like if you're free to play, cheap to play, you're probably not chasing BULKO. It's gonna be a long time before you see a lot of BULKO in your server, and that's probably fine. But yeah, the more competitive servers, it's BULKO or bust, to be quite honest. So yeah, I'm really curious what you all think about that release in there. I mean, right now I'm just plowing through everybody. I don't know if I have any energy here in Valley of Conquerors, but I haven't seen anybody beat my team yet since I got BULKO, and we're just kind of wrecking. I don't even know if I can find like an opposing team to hit right here, because I think they're just all dead. Here's a gate with some purple, so why don't we try this? I'll just go here. We'll run through a gate here and see what happens. I'm pretty highly powered here. You can see they're not able to cast any ultimates. I'm casting them right away. No chance. Let's keep going. Dead before the 10 seconds. Here we go again. All right. See, and then when I'm like pre-charged a bit too, and then they can't cast ultimates, this is going to be a hyper aggressive offensive meta, and you know, our team has just taken over here. I mean, that's all I could even show you in this, I think. Maybe we can make it up to this purple. Let's see how much energy I have. I'm just really curious. Ah, there's an enemy team. We'll slice through this one fast. You know, I came into this Valley of Conquerors not being the strongest team either in the game. There were a number of teams from all different colors beating my team. But ever since I did this, nobody can beat me. It doesn't seem like I'm fighting the absolute strongest teams on the server, or in this particular Valley of Conquerors right now. But everybody who was as strong as me or close got kicked back to their base, and I haven't seen them come out yet. So, this is going to be a new challenge, a new puzzle for all of us. I'm really curious to know everybody's thoughts on it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? I have a feeling this could be a divisive kind of thing. I'm curious what you all think. But here's what I think. I think I had to have this Sprite going forward or I wasn't going to be able to compete. So I just went straight for him. I think now is the easiest time to get him. I'm having a lot of fun playing Bloodline Heroes of Lithus, and I just think he's going to be mandatory. So I got him, and obviously he's very, very good. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and I will catch you in the next one.